The Memphis Grizzlies might not be as good as you think. Now, Memphis fans, before you whoop that trick on me, I don't even know if I used that in the right way. I know it's a dance move. I don't even know if I said that the right way. Before you get mad at me and crucify me for saying that, look, you're a very good team. Don't get me wrong. I think Memphis is very good. I think they will probably make it to at least the second round of the playoffs. Ja Morant is very good as well. Jaren Jackson Jr. is solid. Don't get me wrong. I know y'all are very good. I know y'all are one of the best teams in the NBA. I'm not saying you are not, but I do not think that you'll be winning the NBA Finals this year, and really with how this team is constructed, you won't be winning the Finals unless you make a trade or some major change in the offseason or something like that. So I think how you're currently constructed, I think you're very good, and I think you're going to win a lot of games, but I do not think you will be able to make or win the NBA Finals, at least for this year. And I do have a few reasons why I do think that, and one of those reasons, the fact that I think they just need a better number two, or need to add a third star to this team. Because if you look at it, most NBA Finals winning teams have one of two things. They either have two superstar level players like Boston currently, or like the Clippers. And the Clippers, I'm not saying they're a Finals contending team, but that's kind of what they were going for with Paul George and Kawhi. And then you have like Boston, who are kind of doing it correctly. They have Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, who are both very, very good players. And then they built around them an excellent team around those two players. But Memphis, on the other hand, I don't think Jaren Jackson Jr. is on the level of like a Jaylen Brown as a number two option. And I don't think he is as good as those other elite number two options in the NBA. And I also don't think that they have a good enough team built around them, but I will be getting into that a little bit later. But focusing more on Jaren Jackson Jr., he just really has trouble staying on the floor when it comes playoff time. As in his two stints in the NBA playoffs, he averages 4 fouls a game, which wouldn't be a problem if he only got that average every game. The problem is the fact that he has fouled out multiple times in the NBA playoffs in huge games. And when your number two guy is consistently fouling out in the playoffs, that is a ginormous problem, because if you're only relying on Ja Morant, it makes it so much easier for teams to only focus on Ja, slow him down, and the rest of the team then struggles. Jaren Jackson Jr. has to find a way to play more discipline and stay on the court while remaining that elite defensive presence in the paint as well, which is very, very hard to do, but he has to find a way to do that, and he has not been able to do that for the past two times he was in the NBA playoffs. And then on top of that, I just don't think Jaren Jackson Jr. by himself is good enough to be the second best player on an NBA Finals winning team. He is a very good player, but he can't really get a bucket from every point of the court. He's not really a three-level scorer. Now, yes, he can shoot the three, but he can't just like make his own shot consistently from the three-point line or something like that, like the other elite number two options can. And I think that is going to be a huge problem once they start playing the elite teams in the NBA. And the reason this depth is so vital is because they don't have that third star on the team. If they had that third star or another guy that could get a bucket like that was a all-star level player, then the depth wouldn't matter as much. But any team that wins at a high level that only has two real superstar or star level players on their roster always have an elite team around them. The Brooklyn Nets right now, they have Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, and then they have Ben Simmons, who is a glorified role player. He's very, very good at what he does, but he's not a star anymore in the NBA because he just doesn't score the ball at all, because he doesn't have to really, but he's just a very good role player. But then they have other guys like TJ Warren, Nicholas Claxton, Royce O'Neal, and just so many other guys that are very good around them that make that team work. Even teams like the LeBron James-led Lakers a few years ago when they won the finals, they had LeBron, Anthony Davis, and that was about it. But they had great role players, they had a very solid team around them, and they were able to go all the way to the NBA Finals and win. So any team that has a two-star system has great depth if they're trying to win the finals, and that is not exactly what the Memphis Grizzlies have, and they could run into huge problems, like I said, when they're playing the elite of the NBA in the playoffs. And the last reason I want to get into, that's not really a huge reason, I don't think it's that big of a part to why they would struggle in the playoffs, but it could kind of come back to bite them maybe later. It's the fact that every team that plays them is always going to give them their best shot, because they don't make many friends in the NBA, okay? They somehow made an enemy with a Hall of Fame NFL tight end on court side. They somehow made an enemy with that guy, and he doesn't even play in the NBA. The Golden State Warriors openly have beef with them. A lot of teams don't like the Memphis Grizzlies, and I think that could be a problem, because not only in the playoffs is everyone already already playing harder at a whole different level than they are in the regular season. But now if they have even added motivation to that, that's going to make it even that much harder to beat teams playing you. Like Golden State, although they aren't the same Golden State we've known for a long time, if you're playing the Warriors in the playoffs, you don't want that matchup at all just because they are the Warriors and you know what they can do. And then Klay Thompson's going to be pissed off. I'm sure the rest of them are going to be mad at you as well. And it's going to be that much harder to beat a team because they are now more motivated than they would have been before that. But I also don't buy into that too much. I think if you're just a talented team that can win at a high level, you're a talented team that can win at a high level. It doesn't really matter if you talk trash or if a team is bad. If you're better, you are better. But I do think when it is kind of you're picking hairs, it can matter. And like I said, I don't think Memphis is that much higher above that many teams in the like elite tier of the Western Conference. So there are going to be picking hairs once you get deep down in the NBA playoffs to see who is better. And that added motivation could be the thing that pushes a few teams over the limit to make them beat the Memphis Grizzlies. So you really never know, and adding motivation to a team is never a good idea. So really recapping what I said, I think that they either need a better number 2 or they need to add a third star. They need to find a way that needs Jaren Jackson Jr. to stay on the court during the playoffs. I think that they need to add a little bit better depth if they're going to continue to try this win with this 2-star kind of lineup that they have going. And then also I think that they need to stop motivating other teams, at least maybe if they play like the Warriors or something that could come into play. But I think the first two are really the biggest points that I wanted to make, and I hope y'all do understand. I hope Memphis fans didn't just dislike bomb the video or whatever. I'm sure they probably did. It's whatever, but I hope you did watch all the way through. And if you like my point, hit the like button and subscribe button. It means the absolute word to me. And I hope y'all have a blessed day. Have a blessed day. So you have a blessed day. All glory to God. See you in the next video. Goodbye. Boo. Blah, blah, blah.